What is the Posse Comitatus Act military exception? Imagine a situation where the military is called upon to assist in maintaining order within the United States. Many people wonder whether the armed forces can be used for domestic law enforcement and under what circumstances this is permitted. To understand this, it is essential to explore the legal boundaries set by the Posse Comitatus Act and the specific exceptions that allow military involvement in civilian matters. The Posse Comitatus Act was enacted in 1887 to limit the powers of the United States Army and the United States Air Force in enforcing domestic laws. Its primary purpose is to prevent the military from acting as a police force within the country, thereby protecting civil liberties and maintaining the separation of military and civilian authority. The Act explicitly prohibits the use of the Army and Air Force to execute the laws unless authorized by the Constitution or an act of Congress. However, there are notable exceptions where military forces can be involved in domestic activities. One significant exception involves the United States Navy and the United States Marine Corps, which are not bound by the Posse Comitatus Act in the same way as the Army and Air Force. This is because the Act was originally aimed at land-based military forces, and the Navy and Marine Corps have different roles and legal frameworks. Another critical exception pertains to the National Guard. When the National Guard is activated under state authority, it operates under the command of the state governor and is not subject to the Posse Comitatus Act. However, if the federal government mobilizes the National Guard under federal orders, it then becomes subject to the Act, unless specific federal legislation provides otherwise. The most prominent exception involves situations where the military is called upon to assist in national emergencies, such as natural disasters or terrorist attacks. In these cases, the military can provide logistical support, transportation, and other aid but generally cannot engage in direct law enforcement activities like arrests or searches unless authorized by specific laws or directives. Additionally, the Act does not prohibit the military from performing certain activities such as surveillance, intelligence gathering, or providing support to civilian law enforcement agencies. These activities are often conducted under specific legal authorities that outline the scope and limitations of military involvement. In summary, the Posse Comitatus Act restricts the use of the Army and Air Force in domestic law enforcement but provides clear exceptions for the Navy, Marine Corps, and federally activated National Guard, as well as for emergency support and certain intelligence activities. These exceptions are carefully defined to balance the need for security with the protection of civil liberties and the constitutional separation of powers.